What's up, fam? Welcome back to Catching Up with Renee. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and don't forget to like, share, and turn on your post notification bell to be alerted every time I post a banging video. So today's video is a story time, and I'm going to be telling you a story on how my brother and I were kidnapped or almost kidnapped, whatever the case was. You stick around and find out. So without wasting any time, let's get right into the video. So guys, this is how the story goes. This actually happened when I was back in Zambia, and it was during holidays. I think I was in my fourth or fifth grade. Yeah, and my mom decided to take us to Lusaka for holidays. That was at my father's place, and actually my father was never there. He was always on trips, so it was just me, my sister, cousins, and aunt. Yeah, so I wanted to pay particular attention to one person, one of my cousins. His name was Kauma. I'm actually a year older than him. We were very close, and this whole story revolves around Chanda and Kauma. Yeah, so it was just a normal day. We woke up, we did our chores, and what else? Yeah, we did our chores and we went out to play. So when it was almost lunchtime, my auntie called me and was like, Chanda, we need some tomatoes, because it was almost lunch. Have I said it was almost lunch? Yeah. And she needed to start cooking. So as I took my shoes, started wearing them and all, I was thinking I should call Kauma, so we got together. You know, it was always fun like that. And my auntie was like, Chanda, don't go with Kauma, because you guys always play and take long at the market, so just go alone. So I was like, psh. I went to the front yard where all the kids were playing, and I told my cousin, get your shoes or we are going to the market. So Kama was like, did auntie allow? And I was like, get your shoes and let's go. So that's how we started off for the market. So on our way to the market, this man stopped us. He was actually following us, then he stopped us, and he looked shabby. He was tall, very tall actually, and he was dark, and he was wearing a cape. I actually remember he was wearing a cape, and he stopped us and asked us if we had any elder sister. And Kauma did have an elder sister. We're like, yes, we do have an elder sister. And he attempted to describe her, and actually he gave an, not really accurate, but it was somehow accurate description of her. Is she tall? Is she this? And we were there saying, yes, she is like this. No, she's not like this, and stuff like that you get. And finally we reached the conclusion that we're talking about the same person. And it was like, I've forgotten her name, but I think her name starts with M. And that was that was the letter that that was the first letter of our elder sister's name. So we finished the name, we're like, this person. And the man was like, yes, this girl, she actually bought some brie games from me, and she had already paid, but like I don't think she can find the place I'm at, so maybe I can give you guys, then you can take the brie games to her and all that. So listen, if you do not know what a brie game is, I'm going to insert a picture somewhere here. Those were the ish. Me and Kauma, first of all, were saving up to buy a brie game, and we just wanted the brie games because all the kids had brie games, and we're thinking in our mind, maybe our elder sister had bought this as a surprise for us, you get, right? So we looked at the man, we forgot about the tomatoes, and to even start with, guys, these damn kids, Chanda and Kauma, couldn't even think that we were helping this man trick us, you know? So this man was like, okay, fine, let's go. The place is not too far, and when we're there, you can get the big games and everything, then I'll bring you back. So us, we just started following the man. So the compound I was in, the compound is called Kaunda Square. those people who are in Lusaka, those people who have lived in Lusaka, you know this place. It has stages. There's stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. And I think I've forgotten what stage we lived at, but it was, I'll just say stage A. Though, yeah, it's 1, 2, 3. But just for the sake of the story, I'll call it stage A. We left stage A where the market was, and we started walking towards stage B, the other part of the compound. So we thought this place, his place was somewhere, at least somewhere in stage B, you get, right? But we passed stage B and we started walking towards stage C. And the further we went, you know, I don't know, there were only a few people around. And we were thinking that, is it that people are not awake, or this compound just doesn't have a lot of people? And he quickened his pace and was like, hurry up, we have to go because I have some things to do when I give you the big games. And you know what? My mind began to work. I was like, okay, something's not sitting right. And he was in the center, Kauma was over this side and I was over, like, I think at the left side or something, yeah. And I kept on glancing at Kauma. I was like, Kauma, something seems fishy. And Kauma kept on looking back, like, he was so scared. We started, you know, getting scared. And the man kept on, like, looking at us to make sure, like, you know, we're still with him. After a few walks, the man told me to stay behind. He left me on this unfinished building. It was like a corner, and he told me, you are going to sit here, then I'll go with your brother, we'll pick up the big games, and we'll find you here. The funny thing is, this man had gone from asking us politely and all this to talking like he's commanding. You know, I was at a point where I wanted to tell him, no, it's okay, forget about the biggest. But the way he looked at me, guys, was so commanding. He was just like, sit, we'll come back for you, and don't go anywhere. Chanda sat. So Kauma and him went. It was a corner, so they just like turned. Guys, when I sat is when everything hit me. From the man describing her and us helping him not knowing the name, it just hit me. We were probably kidnapped. Or he was about to go kidnap Kauma. And when my brain started functioning, I stood up and I ran. I think the accurate description for us that moment is this song that's popular. Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb? Because guys, we were dumb. I ran as fast as I could. And like, I was somewhere, I think we were somewhere in stage C. I passed B, then I got tired and I started walking. As I was walking, I started thinking, what am I going to tell my auntie? How am I going to explain all this to her, you get, right? And I was almost crying, like, you know, I had tears in my eyes because I was thinking, what's going to happen to Kauma? I sat down and waited for him, you know, if he was going to show up with the big games. And something in my heart just told me my brother was kidnapped. So that's how I just walked, and luckily I reached stage A. That's where we were at. Actually, those who, in case you're confused, stage A is where the station and the market is at. So if you know that area, maybe those who are in Lusaka, you can, you know, comment below what stage that was and remind your sister, your girl, because she's forgotten and all that, yeah. So when I reached the gate, no one was outside playing, and I left all my cousins like playing in the front yard and all that, yeah. So no one was playing. When I went into the house, everyone was seated in the sitting room, and my aunt wasn't in the sitting room, so I presume she was in the bedroom, yeah. So I asked my cousins and I asked my younger sister, like, where is auntie? Immediately she heard me, she marched out of the bedroom. Chanda, where have you been? She started shouting at me. All this was happening, she was talking in our local language. Even the guy was talking in our local language, but like, yeah, I've just translated everything to English. And she asked me, like, where have you been? Look at how long you took. And she was so furious. And after a minute, she realized that, where's your brother? Where is Kauma? And I was like, this is what happened. And I started narrating the story to her, everything that had happened to us and everything. And guys, here is when you know that Chanda was a bad kid. I didn't want my auntie to be so upset with me. I decided to, twist the story a bit, because I was thinking in my mind, maybe Kauma has been kidnapped, maybe I'll never see him again. I know, I'm a bad kid. You can bash me, you can comment. I was dumb, and I told my auntie, no, I tried to tell Kauma that we shouldn't go with this man, we should just go get the tomatoes, and just trying to spice. But I told the story exactly as it was. I just tried to put a halo on top of myself, that type of thing. And that's how my auntie was so depressed. She got her phone, tried to, I don't know the people she was calling, if it was her friends or some of our relatives. She called people and told them everything, and they advised her to go to the police station. That's how my auntie started off for the police station. So now we're going to skip to what happened to Kauma. So when Kauma left with the man, this man grabbed Kauma's hand immediately, like they made the turn. He grabbed Kauma's hand and started pulling him. So Kauma started, struggling, trying to break free from this man's grip. And it was just so, tense as he described it. He tried, and the man was just pulling him. So at the only opportunity he had, he managed to break free of that grip and ran for his life. Let me tell you, Mangos are athletic. When I tell you, I mean. When I tell you Kauma ran, he ran for his life. And while he was running, he saw a house where this old woman was seated outside. He lost the man actually, and he ran to that house and told the old woman what was happening. And the old woman knew a policewoman who actually lived right in the neighborhood, because he was lost and he didn't know where he was and how to get home. So the woman took him to the police woman, and the police woman was actually getting ready. So it took about an hour to get dressed up and get ready for work. And immediately she was done, she got Kauma and they went to the police station. So there we were at home. I was crying for two reasons. One, my brother had been kidnapped, and two, I was about to get my butt whooped, because I knew how my auntie was going to act towards all this. She came back and she was so frustrated. Every phone call, she was just trying to find out, is it Kauma? Have they found Kauma? And we sat for about 2 hours probably, and no one had heard anything from him. And I was so sure I was never going to see my brother again. So I think after 2 hours, 30 minutes, we just had the gate open. We all stood, and there was Kauma coming through the gate, crying, with some policemen escorting him. He was crying, and my auntie just embraced him and started shouting at him, "Where were you? How?" And in my head, I was just scared. I was like, oh my goodness, what if Kauma tells the story exactly the way it was, and they find out that Chanda was just lying to just, save her butt. So yeah, Kauma, they asked Kauma everything, and they also asked for a description of the man, how he looked, so they can try to catch him. But they never caught the man, unfortunately. And afterwards, my auntie was so furious. I don't know why I didn't get a beating, but Kauma was beaten. I'm so sorry, Kauma, but it was funny. But yeah, he got a beating, for being the villain. Yeah. And from that day on, my auntie didn't let us out of the house for, didn't let us out of the gate area for about a week. And guys, every time I went out, I was scared. So yeah, that brings us to the end of the story. The only thing I want to say about the story that may probably help people is that, please, if you've got younger ones, always tell them stranger danger. Don't allow kids to go out on their own, especially at young ages, because there are a lot of things that can actually tempt them to go around with strangers. Yeah. And what else can I say? Chanda and Kauma, I'm glad you've grown. You're no longer dumb. Yes, so guys, I hope you enjoyed the story, and that brings us to the end of this amazing story. We were all safe, and I am still here, and I will never follow a stranger to anywhere. Yeah, That brings us to the end of the video, you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video and had a little laugh while it's watching. So guys, to keep on being entertained by moi, keep watching my videos. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're new. If you have any comments on the part that you enjoyed the most, please leave that in the comment section and I'll reply to you. Otherwise, for today, that's it. See you in the next video.